Okay, sweeties, I need us to have a real conversation. Like, put your phone down for a second, sip whatever you're drinking, because this one might step on a few toes. Yeah, lovingly. You know how in BL fandom we love to say, we're just protecting our babies?
Yeah, about that.
Because sometimes I watch BL timelines and I'm like, are we protecting them, or are we running a full security system around a fantasy that only exists in our heads? Be honest. How many times have you seen an actor post a completely normal picture, just vibing, minding their business, and suddenly the comments look like a crime investigation?
Who's that? Why are they standing so close? Is this real? Are they hiding? Somebody call the detectives.
Yeah. And then dating rumors drop and the fandom goes through the 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, tweeting in all caps. But wait, it gets even more interesting. When an actor comes out or talks openly about who they are, some fans celebrate, which is beautiful, and then others just freeze, like the brain short circuits. Suddenly it's, wait, but what does this mean for my ship? And don't even get me started on when actors literally say with their own mouths, we are not dating, and the fandom collectively goes, okay, but we know the truth. Like, since when did we start fact-checking people about their own relationships? So the question is, are we being supportive, or are we holding on a little too tight? Is this love, or is it low-key control dressed up as loyalty? Today we're talking about all of it, the sweet moments where fans really show up, the reactions to dating news, the coming out conversations, and yes, the ships that fans refuse to release back into the wild. Because sometimes protective looks like care, and sometimes it looks like,
Nobody move. I need this fantasy to survive.
let's talk. Because I know I'm not the only one who's noticed this. All right, before we throw too much shade, let's give credit where credit is due. Because yes, sometimes BL fans are pure icons. Seriously. Think about it, the fandom shows up when an actor is being dragged online for literally anything. A typo in a post, a misunderstood tweet, or just existing as a human being. And some of y'all step in like full superhero mode, defending them against hate, homophobia, and sometimes even shady companies trying to milk them for every dime. That's legendary. And it's not just hot takes on social media. I'm talking about real, heartfelt support, fans checking in when someone's sick, sending love during health scares, or rallying for mental wellness when schedules are insane. Some of you literally turn into a cheer squad with kindness as your superpower. Then there's the times the fandom actually calls out companies when actors are being overworked or treated unfairly. Like, yes, accountability. That's the kind of protection that actually matters. Not the don't date my fantasy type, but actual real life care. And the best part? Some fans create communities that are genuinely safe spaces, groups where actors' work is celebrated, positivity is amplified, and fellow fans can talk without being dragged into drama. That's honestly beautiful. This is the good side. Iconic, supportive, uplifting. But, and yes, there's a but, sometimes that same energy starts tipping into control. And that's when things get messy. When protecting turns into policing, well, honey, then we need to talk about it. Okay, now we're getting into the really juicy stuff. The moments when protective suddenly starts looking a little possessive. And honey, it's a whole vibe. This is the part where you might find yourself going, oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, because some of us have lived through this. Number 1, dating rumors and real relationships. Let's start here. You know the feeling. The moment an actor's personal life even breathes near the public eye, suddenly everyone's a detective. Rumors start flying and the fandom collectively loses its mind. Like, people act like the world just ended because someone dared to have a life outside of your ship. Here's the thing, actors having relationships shouldn't feel like breaking news that needs an emotional recovery plan. That's not loyalty, that's control. And some fans, yeah, they confuse the two constantly. Number 2, harassment in the name of loyalty. People attacking partners, friends, co-stars, anyone who might get in the way of the fantasy, all in the name of protecting. And let me tell you, attacking someone else is not protection. It's entitlement with a capital E. Protecting someone doesn't mean you get to hurt anyone else along the way. That's not love, that's toxic. And sometimes the fandom really needs someone to just breathe and chill. Number 3, trying to control career choices. Let's talk about this right there. Some fans act like they have a say in what role someone takes or what stories they get to tell. Oh, you want to try a different role. Traitor. Oh, you want to pair with someone new on screen. Betrayal. Support should allow space to grow. Watching someone evolve doesn't mean they're abandoning you. It means they're doing their job. And yes, sometimes that means leaving your fantasy behind. Accept it, sip your tea, and move on. Number 4. When actors come out and fans don't know how to react, some fans be like, oh, amazing. They're authentic, respectful, celebrating from the heart. Others, blank faces, shock, denial, or worse, trying to reinterpret what the actor said just to keep the fantasy alive. Coming out is personal, not a plot twist in a drama. It's real life. And the reactions sometimes tell you more about the fandom than the actor. Expectations versus reality. Yeah, it's a messy cocktail, and some people are sipping it wrong. Number 5, this is my favorite. They said they're dating, but fans still don't believe it. The actors literally say with their own mouths who they're with and with a literal life proposal on stage, and some fans just, nope, doesn't compute. They're secretly together, I know it. No. Believe people when they tell you about their own lives. And that's not loyalty, that's entitlement dressed up as hope. Sometimes the fandom picks a narrative and refuses to let it go, even if reality is waving right in front of them. And that's when protectiveness crosses the line. Number 6, when fans refuse to let ships go. That hurts and annoys the most. The moment a ship sinks, ends, or the actors go their separate ways, and some fans refuse to let it go. Like, seriously, it's been years, 2 years, 3 years, and there are still messages, posts, comments, prayers, begging for the ship to come back. Honey, we have to learn to move on. Actors are humans. They don't owe us explanations. They don't need to tell us who's at fault, why they separated, or what went wrong. That's their private life, not our soap opera. And here's the hard truth. Clinging to a ship that's over doesn't protect anyone. It doesn't help the actors. It just keeps the fantasy alive for us. And sometimes that fantasy ends up hurting the fandom more than it protects the actors. So please, for the love of sanity, support the actors in their lives now. Celebrate the stories that were, cheer them on in the ones that are, but let's stop demanding they live in the past just because it fits our fantasy. Yeah, 6. The fantasy trap, blurring acting and reality. Watching on-screen chemistry and thinking it's real-life confirmation. Shipping is fun, yes, it is. But when that attachment starts telling you that you own the story, the actor, the relationship, that's where it becomes dangerous. Actors aren't props, they're humans. And if the fandom can't separate fiction from reality, that's when protectiveness becomes possession. Sometimes protective looks cute and wholesome. Other times it's a full-on fantasy control operation. And now let's figure out why this even happens, why fans feel the need to cross that line. Because once you see it, you're like, that makes sense. And also kind of scary. First of all, fan service. Companies love it. They make actors look cute together, flirty, untouchable. And then we all fall for it like, oh, wow, this is real, right? Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing, and we press play anyway. Then there's the emotional side. We've watched these couples for months, sometimes years. Every glance, every smile, every joke, we get attached. Our hearts start thinking it's real life. I mean, who wouldn't? Let's talk parasocial bonds. Basically, we feel like we know them. We've seen them laugh, cry, tease each other, and suddenly it feels like there are people. But, spoiler alert, that connection is one-sided. Add the fandom echo chamber to the mix, and suddenly, every rumor, every tiny hint, everyone's reaction is amplified. One person says they're secretly together, 5 people agree, 10 people comment, boom. Reality? Optional, and the sweetest trap? Escapism. Life is messy. Work is stressful. So of course we want to live in a world where love is perfect, chemistry is undeniable, and happily ever afters exist. At least in our heads. I get it, we've all been there. But here's the thing, the environment encourages all this closeness and investments, but it doesn't give anyone a free pass to cross boundaries. Protecting actors starts with respecting them. Fantasy is fun until it stops letting reality exist. Okay, so here's the truth, and I'm just going to say it. Supporting actors does not mean you get a backstage pass to their entire life. They don't owe us explanations. They don't owe us comebacks. And no, your OTP doesn't automatically get a happily ever after in real life. Shocking, I know. Love the stories. Love the chemistry. Scream into your pillows if you want on, but let's leave people alone to live their lives. Protecting someone isn't stalking them online or mass reporting their friends. It's cheering them on and sometimes quietly sipping your tea. Honestly, maybe real support is just believing them when they tell us who they are.
Revolutionary idea, right?
So tell me, which part of the fandom drama drives you crazy? And which part do you secretly do too? Spill it in the comments. I promise, no judgment. Well, maybe just a tiny bit. Love your faves hard, ship them hard, stand them hard. But stop trying to own them. Let's leave the drama on screen, babes.